Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm back here at one of my special filming spot locations because guess what? We have a vehicle that this is actually the end of the line once again for, and it's this vehicle right here. This is a 2024 Toyota Venza, this being the top trim, the platinum trim, and of course having that all-wheel drive. But before we get into this vehicle that seems to be blurring the lines greatly between Lexus and Toyota, let's talk about what's going on here. Toyota has stressed that they are not running straight into a wall with pure EV vehicles like some other brands are. They're really focusing on making as much as their lineup hybrid before they take that next leap. And that makes sense because millions of hybrid vehicles do a lot more for the environment than a handful of battery electric vehicles. Now, when this Venza came back out, yes, you heard correctly, in 2021, the Venza name came back. It came in a little bit different shape and definitely with different power that it produces. But what's fascinating is that, like I mentioned, they really blurred the lines between the premium brand of Toyota, which is Lexus, and this Venza. And I'm gonna show you all those different facets. The Venza name has been around since 2009, and it was an interesting crossover SUV. It was almost like had like a chop top to it. It was really short height-wise, but kind of wide and long. Really interesting. It lasted until 2015, and then now this is what we have, final year for 2024. So what I want to find out is, should you be buying one of these before they go away? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this vehicle and find out. Right off the bat, the shape. It is a familiar Toyota Lexus shape, and here is where I think you're gonna see the lines between the two start to blur. It all starts at the headlights. Look at how slim, how trim, full LED daytime running lamps and turn signals and LED headlights. But if you notice the way that they shape the daytime running lamp, it almost looks like a Lexus daytime running lamp. Now, as we come down to the front corner, I love the way they sculpted it. You do have functional corner air curtains on both sides, flat black, which is nice. But the way that they sculpted this part, this is another area where it really feels Lexus to me, not Toyota. And I mean that in a very good way. Now, as we come across the front nose, once again, it's almost like if they would have just taken this top portion and changed the body line, you would have that trapezoid Lexus design. But I love the way you have functionality all throughout, and the way that they did this design by having the grooves on the inside of the trim looks very classy. You got a forward-facing camera, and then of course with the blue around the Toyota badge, this means that it's a hybrid, and that's how it comes. It comes as a hybrid, and I kind of like that. It really simplifies the whole lineup and buying experience. But like I said, forward-facing camera, a little bit more chrome trim because this is the top platinum trim. And you are gonna get LED fog lamps. Very simple, round in this lower grille area that is also functional. But let me know what you think in the comment section if I'm just crazy thinking that this looks a lot like a Lexus. Now, the vehicle that's gonna replace it for 2025 model year is gonna be that vehicle called the Crown Signia. It's the first ever SUV to have the Crown name. We did a walk around of that, and I'll leave it at the end of this review if you haven't seen it. So really, should you be getting one of these before they're gone or wait for the Crown Signia? Let's continue. We rise up. I love the way it's got a nice angle here because the way the air hits keeps it very slippery, very smooth design to the hood. And then as we come around the bend, when you go top trim, what are you working with wheel and tire from Toyota? So you're gonna find these nice hand-polished aluminum wheels, 19-inch wheel in diameter, 225 on the width, and you got a 55 series sidewall. I think one of my favorite things, everything is painted around the fender opening. Super clean, super nice. I think another vehicle you might wanna consider if you're going the Toyota route is maybe a RAV4 hybrid, but I really feel like when it comes to classy, luxury style, this really does do the business more so over a RAV4, that's for sure. But definitely tasteful looking wheel with this color. When we come down the side, you are going to get color matched on the mirror caps, LED turn signals, just a little bit of chrome shine. We got bright shiny metalwork, top and bottom. You have a full glass panoramic roof with that special touch that I'll show you when we get to the interior. Color matched on the door handles, and I like the way they just kept it simple with the flat black on the lower portion underneath the doors. Simple, it's going to wear well, and wait until you hear about MPGs. We keep working towards the rear. They did a great job with a nice triangular quarter window with that trim, comes all the way to the back. And then as we come into the rear, I like some parts and I don't like some parts, and we'll get into this. So, roof spoiler, not the longest, but it does the job. I just wish they would have got rid of this. This is a zonk. This needs to be underneath there. There's plenty of room underneath here. Look at this. My hand is all the way underneath there. That would have just cleaned up the whole back. Like I said, this is the top limited trim. There's the badge on the back. And then you have your LED taillights up top. But the zonk that I have is I hate it when they put the lights down here in the lower bumper. Very hard to see. They are LED, but can't we just put it all right here? I mean, is it really that difficult? I don't think so, but what do I know? We got the blue badge around the Toyota. That's obviously going to be meaning it's a hybrid. Love the Venza name. Just a very classy name to a classy shaped compact crossover SUV. And then as we work our way down, check it out. You actually have exhaust finishers on both sides, nice slash cut, oval opening stainless steel, and we have full tow capability with this Venza. But let me know what you think in the comment section compared to the Crown Signia or RAV4 Hybrid. Why don't we go ahead though, let's pop the hood and talk about what this provides horsepower and mileage wise for the Venza. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. Great news is it's all the way out of the way. The even better news is one engine and one engine only. It's a hybrid. It's a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated inline four paired with an electric motor and an electric motor out back, which means all Venzas are all-wheel drive. So you actually have a total of 3 motors, 2 up front, 1 in the back, 219 horsepower. It uses a 0.9 kilowatt battery pack, 0 to 60 in about 7.6 seconds, top speed 118 miles per hour. It does have a CVT, but the great news is the MPGs, 40 in the city, 37 on the highway. So nicely done. Of course, this kind of setup Toyota's been running for a while, so reliability is going to be there. But how do you feel about it? Are you liking this setup the way this is, or would you hold out for the Crown or go with a Toyota RAV4 Hybrid? While you're thinking about that, let's fire this thing up and see it roll out of here. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Toyota Venza limited trim, top trim. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, you're right. I actually think that this looks more like a Lexus than a Toyota, and I'm very curious because I need a new crossover SUV that gets really good fuel economy, but also has some nice touches. How much is this one? Good question. MSRP, the way that this one is, $45,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. I love the triple tone color. The gray with the dark brown looks really good. This is those touches that makes it look like a Lexus. Look around the switchgear for the door locks and the windows. It has this faux wood that looks really, really tasteful without it being filled with fingerprints. You do have decent sized door pocket. You could go to Einstein Bagels and get yourself a nice large everything bagel with a large schmear. That is Steven's favorite, and a bottle of Yoo-Hoo to wash it down. It even has the Venza name nicely done on the speaker grill cover there. Going from the door panel to the dash, look at how far the dash is, gives the passenger a lot of room. We got the JBL sound system, soft touch material everywhere. I really like this hard piping that they put with the stitching. And then guess what? Come on in, look at what we got. massive 12.3 inches of infotainment system screen. It's the new multimedia software, which allows you to set up all those different driver profiles. You can look at the flow of power with the front wheels and then the power going to the rear wheels with those electric motors. And then we're right back to the navigation. I throw it into reverse. Backup camera clear as day. You do have trajectory. You do have 360, which is nice. And then we're right back where we started. Working our way down, you have your AC controls. Easy to figure out, easy to understand. Dual climate. You got your power on button here. And then deep within that hole, I'll move the shifter out of the way, you got 3 USB-Cs and wireless charging in there. So very impressive mode selector switch. This shifter controls the eCVT. And then you'll notice more of that wood style finish, the brown soft touch material with the stitching. 2 cup holders. What's interesting is that the Venza even gets its own key fob with the Venza name on it. Everything else is the same from Toyota. Heated and ventilated seats, and you don't have to go into the infotainment system. Real simple to do. Lift it up. You have this very interesting cup holder, so you could actually put deeper, taller bottles in there. Easy. Or you could just pop it out. You got a 12 volt, and you could easily put, I would say, shoot, 7 boxes of Junior Mints. So think about it. You're going to the movies. You don't want to pay $40 for a box of Junior Mints. You could keep your stash in here and then just bring them in with you. Hide them in your pockets, in your pants, wherever you need to put them. One time Steven put a box underneath his hat. They didn't even check. He was laughing all the way. Good times. And I like the way this has like a little, like you could hide the switches and then you could unhide them. Hide, unhide. I like that. Seats, soft text material. Look at the stitching. Really on needle point, soft bolstering, power adjustments for the passenger and for the driver. And then here comes this is the best part. I freaking love this. So we have a power shade. That's not the part I love. We have that Vista style roof, that magical roof. It's opaque because of the electrically charged ions. Remember that from science class? You want to see it go clear? Are you ready? I'm ready if you're ready. Boop. Clear. Opaque. Clear. Opaque. When you first buy this vehicle, I promise you for the first 3 days, 72 hours, that's all you're going to want to do is sit in the driveway and just do this all day long in amazement. And for that technology to be on a vehicle that isn't $90,000 is actually quite surprising, to be honest with you. And then remember, you do have the shade. I'm so glad they gave the shade as well. So you could really save the magic trick for when your friends get in the vehicle. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the Toyota wheel in this Venza. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings. I love the way you got this nice aluminum Venza sill plate. It does light up LED. And you see that Venza embroidery on the floor mat? That's worth an extra 5 horsepower. You do have power seat controls, easy to get to, especially that lower lumbar. I'm 6 feet tall. I got plenty of room in here. It does have a heated steering wheel, which is great. The only bummer is that this is basically the same steering wheel that's in a Camry and a Corolla. Not a bad thing. It's just on the Venza with all these other special touches, it kind of feels out of place. But you do have flat black on all the switchgear, power tilting and telescoping wheel on the limited trim, and then you got that nice large digital display with your different drive modes. Watch this. It's like Gran Turismo. Oh, eco, normal, and sport. And you have a head-up display. So, love the way they're bringing tons of technology. And I almost forgot, a digital rearview mirror. I mean, look at that. You can see it says stop on that sign right there. That's cool technology. Technology you could really use. But why don't we get into the back seat and see how your passengers are going to enjoy that you went Venza. All right, guys, back seat time in this 2024 Venza. It's interesting because with that fixed portion of the panoramic glass roof, you still have plenty of room in here. And it's kind of crazy because you are sitting on that 0.9 kilowatt battery pack, which is underneath the rear seat, but yet we still have plenty of room. So that is really well done by the designers and engineers of this Venza. You do have your seat pockets, massive. You could easily put, I would say, 2 of those cookie cakes that you get at the mall. Man, I could go for a cookie cake right now. The frosting, You do have a little bit of a command center with your AC vents, and you have 2 USB-Cs, so they got you covered there. I feel good. I love the comfort of the seats back here. I was once Ubered in one of these in New York, and it was way better than taking a New York taxi. Pull this down. Charmin soft. It's like a freaking gray marshmallow with 2 cup holders. But why don't we go ahead? Guess what? We do have a cargo area. Let's see how much room there is in this Venza. All right, guys, cargo area time. You hit the button right underneath the Toyota badge. Nice electric assist on the limited trim. And what you're going to be greeted to is 30 cubic feet of space. So you're going to have a lot of space with that rear seat up. The rear seats do fold down 60-40 split. You'll notice our JBL subwoofer. One of the zonks I have is to put the seats down, you have to pull on this clip up here. I wish it just had handles. There's the clip right there. I wish it had handles so you didn't have to stretch in there over your stuff. Let's see if we could pull up the rear. Yes, you do get a spare. That's a nice thing to see, especially on a hybrid vehicle. And then one thing I do want to point out is that the lift over area and the height of the bumper is pretty high on this one. So if you are picking up that barrel of pickles that you bought that weighs about 35 pounds, it's going to be a little cumbersome getting it over and in. But the good news is once you have your barrel of pickles in there, you're good to go. But guess what? You hit that button, it comes down nice and smooth. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go for a pickle run and see how this Venza drives. All right, guys, we're inside this 2024 Toyota Venza. Right away, you're gonna love how everything is arranged in here. It's really well done. I don't mind the floating iPad style screen because it does not go up past the hood line. So that's gonna give you perfect visibility out the front. We have the digital rear view mirror, which is awesome for out the back. Side mirrors, you got all of the Toyota sensing technology, blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, and the fact that you can get a tick over 40 mpgs in the city is quite respectable. And you have all-wheel drive, and that comes standard. That's what I love about this Venza. Now, going with the top limited trim, it's going to bring all the niceties. It's got the ventilated seats, the heated seats, all power assist, the whole shabam. And that's really where you're going to see, I think, a good value, even with an MSRP of $45,000. Getting to the infotainment system, well within reach. I could pull up our energy flow so that you can see how that power is going to do its thing with the motors. And there's our battery pack right underneath the rear seat. You got your dual climate control. And to be honest with you, the only gloss black is right in this midsection, which isn't too overbearing, which is nice. I like the way that you can scroll through a cornucopia of information in these gauges. I mean, look at this. EV driving range, you got battery charge, lots of info, good info, plus that's not even counting the stuff in the head-up display. All right, guys, driving down the road, you can see how the energy flow display is sending that information to you. You go to change lanes, on throttle, here we go. Some power goes to the rear, and we are off and running. Another thing that really blows my mind when it comes to what is going on with systems like the all-wheel drive and all that is that you don't have to really be concerned about hearing the engine turn on and off. As you can see, we're driving through this parking lot. I'm doing it on purpose because I wanted you to see that when you're slowly driving, that's just the electric motor. And you really can't tell when that on-off interaction is happening with the engine and the electric motors. To me, that's another nice special touch that this Venza brings that some of the other brands still haven't figured out. But on throttle, here we go. Power, all 4 wheels. This isn't gonna be a race SUV, but the fact that it could get out of its own way very easily and have great MPG return is also a huge plus. But driving it in traffic, it's a great size. You can see where the dimensions are very easily as you're navigating on the road. And I think my favorite part is just the pure comfort. The comfort of the seat, the controls. They really do a good job at Toyota making sure that you know where everything is very, very easily. All right, guys, time to get out on the highway and see how this Venza does the deal. And I think you're gonna be very pleasantly surprised. I think because there's no roof rails, you get a slipperier shape, which causes less wind drag, but also cuts down on wind noise. And even with 19-inch wheels, you still got plenty of sidewall where you're not getting a lot of road noise either. I mean, it is a really pleasant place to be. I think the one big zonk for me is just the steering wheel. It's just not, it doesn't match up with the rest of the vehicle, at least the horn button. Maybe if I get a screwdriver and pop this horn button off and put something else here, I'll feel better about it. But other than that, the rest of it is great. And I really feel like this vehicle is so underrated and underappreciated. But like you can see, going down the road here, it's just super smooth. You're getting that hypermiling capability from the hybrid setup. And you feel good. And it doesn't break the bank. We all know a Crown Signia is going to be well over $50,000. A RAV4 hybrid is about the same price as this, but I really like the touches a lot more in this Venza. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review, unbiased as always, review of the Toyota Venza. We're going to get back to where this all started and wrap it up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another hypermiling kind of day with this Toyota Venza. Definitely want to thank everybody at Toyota USA for getting us access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Is this the way to go right before it leaves for 2024? Going with the Venza over the upcoming Crown Signia or a RAV4 hybrid? Let me know how you feel about the Venza down in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Of course, we need to give it up to Stephen Flood. Stephen Flood Photography. He gets the business done. You know what? He is doing some hyper calorie eating because he's trying to get swole. He actually is studying under Arnold Schwarzenegger to get as big as he is. So good luck with that, Stephen. Show him some love in the comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.